Good afternoon, Eagle County Ground, KingAir 8 Alpha Kilo. We're at the ramp ready for taxi, runway 25. We'll take the apron, Alpha 3, Alpha, runway 25, full short, KingAir 8 Alpha Kilo. Clear to Ottawa, Leicester 2, runway 6 left, 0544, KingAir 8 Alpha Kilo. Clear to land, runway 7, KingAir 8 Alpha Kilo.
No audio. Not even in Discord. Did your battery die? Yeah, that's a little bit of it.
This. Check. You should be able to hear me now, right?
There's Discord.
Yep. Okay. Now, I gotta do this. Been a long time since you guys heard me on this headset before. Low but readable. Alright. It looks like it's peaking pretty good here. I don't know why it would be low. Let me just check. Okay. Well, I'm not going to change anything because it looks good here.
Actually,
now the question is... Okay, might have been the distance of the mic.
Your stream is
all right,
good.
now what I'm going to do is just check that it's okay there. All right, now the question is whether or not I'm going to hear anything. So let me just see if I can make noise here. That does not make noise, but that does. Oh, look at that. I can hear. Perfect. All right, let's try that again. You guys can hear me okay? Oh, yeah, that's exactly what I have to do. Thanks. Let's change that. Input, microphone, USB audio. And interesting that that is set for that, but that should still work. You guys can hear me in Discord okay?
Yeah, I gotta turn you up now.
Well, turn me up then if that's what you have to do. That's what you have to do.
I think your cable there needs a little more duct tape.
Why? What's wrong with it? You can't hear me?
No, just holding it together.
What do you mean? There's no fucking duct tape holding it together. It's tie wrapped.
Tie wrapped.
Well, that's just because it's a big fucking mess. One cable's longer than the other, but anyways.
How's the other one? Is the battery die or just don't know what's going on?
No, it was plugged in charging before the stream. It was working perfectly, and all I did was the mute button on it is you raise this, you can hear a click, and that's muted. And when I pulled it back down, it never unmuted. So probably even unplugging the dongle and plugging the dongle back in should have solved it, but it didn't. So it's like, what the fuck? But anyway, we got this one for now.
$300, you know?
Well, you know what? I will tell you that I should do a fucking review because I think my clouds are probably better than the Sennheiser. The battery lasts longer, they're lighter on your head, and I have never, ever, ever had a problem with the mute switch or anything on those. So, I don't know. The thing is, I can't run the software with these. If I run the software with these, then it sets all my audio devices. This has to be set to the default device, which is crap because my mixer and everything, it won't work that well with that. So, needless to say, at this point in time, I'm going to honestly say that if I was to review these Sennheisers, garbage compared to the other. Although they sound better. The audio in them is way better than the clouds.
Yeah, they do. They sound really good.
They sound really good, but the wireless is not RF, it's Bluetooth, and I think it's got issues. And for all I know, I hit the Bluetooth fucking pairing button, and that's probably acts as another mute or something, but I don't have the time to fuck with that now. But anyways, good to see you guys. Thanks very much for joining us. November 38 Alpha Kilo, Cockpitbuilders.com. We're going to go to Lincoln, Nebraska, and we're sitting on the ground in East Texas. So let's go ahead and get back in the airplane, and let's carry on with the pre-flight. Good to see us. Bryce Allen, how's it going? It might be needing to be repaired. Yeah, well, it'll get repaired right in the fucking garbage. That's where it'll be repaired at. The only good thing that I will say about all this is, at least with me not smoking that, like, as much, I can fucking sit up here and I don't have to do anything else. So the cable shouldn't get fucking wrapped around me and make static and all that. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, guys, we were having issues on Wednesday with the frame rates and stutters and all kinds of other crap. So what we have done is actually left the second cockpit camera out. So by keeping the extra cockpit camera out, it's either that or it's the unreal weather. I think it was the camera and the cable, so I'm leaving that out for this stream just to see if my problem goes away. If the problem goes away, then I'll deal with something different there. It was probably disconnecting and reconnecting. So anyways, really good to see you. Complete Freedom, good to see you. Thanks very much to everybody for being here. We're going to go ahead and get rolling. We're on our way to, there's Drone. We're on our way to Lincoln, Nebraska. It shouldn't be too bad. Let's see if we can get these Pratt & Whitney started. But before we do that, we're going to do a quick push. And we'll just get back away from these airplanes a little bit. So while he's coming over to us, I got to put 121.5 in my comm too. Make sure, I'm going to have to change that audio device. I'm going to have to change the audio device. So good thinking there, otherwise my ATC would not work. Hunter Stu, thank you very much for the follow. All right, we've got 121.5, and then we'll let him give us this little pushback here. And what have we got on the ground here at East Texas Regional? You are going straight, right, bucko? You're not really pushing us straight, are you? There we go. Alright, that's probably far enough. We're good there. And we've got 119.2. 119.2 over here. And 119.2. All right, now what last thing we have to do, like I said, is change that audio source, because now we're changing the headset. So by changing the headset, we have to switch to the other audio source. Otherwise, guess what? Nobody's going to hear us on the client. So let's just change that really quick. Audio is going to be microphone USB audio. This one. And let's try that. Of course, we had a voice error, which sucks, but that's the way sometimes things work. But it's all good now. That probably had to do with me unplugging the USB audio. All right, guys, so the parking brake is set. Nav lights are on. Cabin signs are on. Props are all the way forward. And I think we're ready to go. Let's do the before start checklist. Make sure everything here is good. Really good to see you guys. Appreciate you coming by. Happy Wednesday. Hump Day Wednesday. Should be a good flight. About 2 hours, I think. You'd like to hear the pre-flight with Chester? Sorry, roundabout. I don't know a Chester. I don't know a Chester. Do you know a Chester? I don't know a Chester. I've never met a Chester before. All right, before the start checklist. Right, he says. Interior master switch is off. The batteries are on. Annunciators have been tested. Fuel system has been checked. He's afraid of the woo-woos. He is afraid of them. Ariel SR71, good to see you. Thanks very much for being here. Fuel quantities in the main and auxiliary tanks have been checked. The pilot sub panel's been checked. Landing gear, light controls are all good, and the hydraulic fluid sensor is good. Chester should do the flight. Absolutely. Trinity, hi. Good to see you. Ariel, how are you? Chester could do this flight. Chester could do the flight very, very well, actually. Cabin differential warning has been tested. The stall and landing gear warning. We'll do the EGPWS check.
Rate. Pull up terrain. Don't sink too low. Gear.
Fire detector and extinguisher has been checked, and the CVOR has been checked. So we'll go ahead and start the engine.
Wind shear.
Thanks, Quirt. Appreciate for the torch. All right, guys, and number 2, here we go. We've got ignition start, N1 rotation. ITT's rising, oil pressure's coming up, fuel pressure went out, it's good. Oil pressure will go out through 40 PSI, here it goes, and the light goes out. Thanks, Midge, appreciate it. There's 12, and in goes the fuel. Chester totally could do this, by the way. Chester is awesome. For those of you who don't know, Chester is one of my characters in GTA. Coming up on 50% N1, and we're watching the ITT, and it all looks good. Start is off. Master caution reset. That prop can go to high idle. Switch over to the generator. Gen 2's coming on. We pick up the load, and the battery starts charging. Gen 2 off. Master caution. Let's go ahead and spin number 1. Here we go. We've got number 1, ignition start, N1 rotation. ITT's rising. Oil pressure's coming up. Oil pressure light will go off. 40 PSI. There it is. Coming up on 10.5, the prop is spinning. In goes Gen 2, and in goes the fuel. As I said, it's about 2 hours gate to gate. Shouldn't be too bad. Prop RPM is climbing. The ITT looks good. Starter disengaged. Master caution. Switch over to the generator. Gen 1's coming on. We split the load. Gen 2. Gen 2's going off. Master caution. Gen 1 picks up the load. Gen 2 goes back on, and both loads are split between the generators. Avionics, auto feather, auto ignition, pitot heat, windshield heat, fuel heat, prop heat all going on. Tail lights going on. Brake de-ice is going on. Bleeds and blowers are on. 1 notch of flaps. Both engines are coming to low idle. How's it going, Mosh? Good to see you. Alright, let's check the flight controls. Flight controls are free and correct. Radio check. King Air November 38 Alpha Kilo on 119.2. Maybe not.
Radio check.
Oh. Okay, I guess that's good. Commando Solo subscribing to Tier 1. Dude, that's 16 months. That's a 10-month streak, dude. Well done. 119.2, just to double check.
193 Tier 1 sub.
193rd Tier 1 sub in the channel. Well done. Sock62, thank you very much for the follow. King Air 8 Alpha Kilo, radio check. Works for me.
5x5.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. 121.5 for the guard frequency. And that looks really good. Transponder is set. 119.2. And Quirt, we will have a good flight. Mr. Drone and myself are going to have an awesome flight. Thank you very much. Guys, runway 31 for departure. We got a long taxi.
There's somebody else here too in the tarmac.
Sweet. Mosh Pit TV subscribing with Tier 1 Prime. Thanks very much, dude. That's 3 months for you, Mosh. Appreciate that.
Moshpit_TV Prime sub. Good to be back on board.
I'm glad you're here, Mosh. Thanks, man. Appreciate the support for the channel. East Texas traffic, King Air November 38 Alpha Kilo. We're at the GA. We're going to taxi runway 31. We're going to do so via Bravo, East Texas. All right, parking brake is off. Engines are coming up.
Texas traffic, November 54 Delta Charlie will be taxiing 31 via Bravo.
It's a 10,000-foot runway, so it shouldn't be too bad. Just a little long of a taxi. Right engine only. Here we go, folks. All right. We should just do the before taxi. Oh, we got to do a brake check. Brakes check. Brakes are good. All right. Electrical system. Oh, my brake's still stuck. There we go. Electrical system has been checked. Avionics master is on. Interior master switch is as required. Looking good. And we're going to cross this runway, which is 13. So we'll put the strobes on here. Master panel on cockpit lights has been as required. They are. Mic switches are both on normal. Cabin lights are as required. Furnishings, coffee pot coming on. Cabin signs, they're on. East Texas traffic, KingAir November 30 at Alpha Kilo. We're crossing runway 18 on Bravo, East Texas. Cabin signs are on. As I said, the ESIS display is correct, reading 360 on all three, so that's good. Exterior lights are on. Overspeed warning has been tested. Environmental system controls have been set. Prop sync is on. TCAS and EGPWS has been tested. Emergency frequency of 121.5 has been set. TAWS has been tested and checked, and TCAS is going on. 8-track is a go. Awesome. Sounds like fun. Roundabout leaving Texas for Nebraska. Yes, we are. Strobe lights are going off. Flight and engine instruments. So I've got a heading of 311. Sorry, that's my heading set. I'm actually showing a heading of 126 in the middle, and 126 on the side, and 126 on the ESIS. So that's good. Altimeters are 3034, 3034, and 3034. That is checked. Flaps, 1 notch of flap is down. Brakes have been released and checked. And then we go to the run-up, which we'll do just before we get close. And we'll do that next. Oh, Texas Aviator. Apparently Chester loves corn-fed things and barn animals. That's awesome. Master Chief Pilot going to be joining us for the ride. That's kind of nice. I thought that was their women. Well, according to Gunslinger, that is definitely what Chester likes to do. Chester? No, Chester. C-H-E-S-T-E-R. Chester. It's Chester. C-H-E-S-T-E-R. Roundabout. Yeah, woo-woo. Yeah, exactly. The woo-woos. Where are the woo-woos? I do not like the woo-woos. Texas Aviator, you have no idea. You have absolutely no idea, man. We like to have a lot of fun, that's for sure. Really good to see you guys. Thanks very much for hanging out with us. November 30 at Alpha Kilo, Cockpitbuilders.com. We're getting out of East Texas Regional, and we're going to make our way up to Lincoln, Nebraska. Those, Texas Aviator, those are the, and I don't know, Roundabout, how you actually found it. So you either were watching Spencer or Charlie. You were either watching Digital Mike or I Destroy Fish Sticks. You were watching one of them because you wouldn't have seen me because I wasn't streaming it. It was the I Destroy Fish Sticks. That's who it was that you were watching. Yeah, he's Spencer. He's awesome. Yeah, we rated him actually on Saturday. What was even cooler is, I'm not sure if you got to see it, but if you checked Digital Mike's stream out at the end of last night, stream for him, we were all up on the roof drinking and doing a competition to see if we could walk on the edge of the top roof of a building. It was a lot of fun. Oh yeah, we definitely have a lot of fun. All right, while we're on the taxi, let's take care of some of these engine run-up items. Props, we'll bring these up, and we'll bring the auto feather down. Manual feather. Manual feather on the other side. Let's check the governors. Governors are good. Oh, crap. Apparently, we lost the left engine. That's how you really piss off an engine. Yeah, good time to lose it is right. Better to lose it now than down the road. We'll go here at Echo. There we go. Now, before we go anywhere, governor kicks in and resets. Right engine. Governor kicks in and resets. East Texas traffic, KingAir, November 3rd at Alpha Kilo intersection. Line up and wait at Echo, runway 31 for departure to the north, East Texas. All right, strobe lights are going on. Landing lights are going on. Bleeds and blowers are going off. Before takeoff, quick check. Engine auto ignition is on and armed. Engine anti-ice is on. Exterior lights are on. Ice protection is on. Windshield prop left and right fuel vent stall warning heat. Left and right pitot heat all on. Transponder is set. And prop levers are full forward. Trim has been set and the flaps are ready to go. Here we go, folks. We are now, oh yeah, environmental bleed air has been set. Outside air temperature is above 10 degrees, so it's on auto. Bleed air valves are closed. ECS mode is required. Cockpit cabin blower is set. Cabin temperature is set. Interior lights are set. Generator loads have been checked. And the battery ammeter light is off. Other than that, guys, here we go. Out of East Texas Regional on our way to Lincoln, Nebraska. East Texas traffic, KingAir, November 3rd at Alpha Kilo, rolling runway 31, departure to the northeast Texas. All right, here we go. Both engines spooling up. Two engines are stable. Takeoff power is set. Governors kick in and reset. Two green engines. Speed tape is alive and on both sides. That's checked. We're making power.
80 knots.
Continue.
V1. Rotate. V2.
There's the man right there, folks. Mr. I Destroy Fist Sticks. Coming in with the plane that does not fly. All right, guys, bring the props back to 1550. Power is coming back. Gears coming up. Flaps are coming up. Bleeds and blowers are going back on. Auto feather, auto ignition is going off. Mr. I Destroy Fist Sticks. Guys, if you are aware or not aware, this gentleman right here is the gentleman you guys should be following on Twitch. He is the reason why Roundabout found us last night as Chester. C-H-E-S-T-E-R, Chester. Good to see you, Spence. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you coming by. East Texas traffic, KingAir, November 3rd at Alpha Kilo. We're through 1,100 for flight level 240. This will be our last call over to 123.45 East Texas. All right, yaw damper is on. Landing lights are off. And everything else is looking good. Dude, no, you're the man. You are the fucking man. Chester put up with a lot of shit last night. And by the way, I would like to say that I believe the reason why you got caught last night was my fault, because I made a deal with KD and I said, hey, I'll give you $10 when T-Ray was on the wall. I'll give you $10 if you do a 311 and say there's a crazy guy on the side of the roof. Anyway, it worked. I didn't realize you had anything on you. I feel bad, but I did offer to take your charge. I told them. I told Quesky, take me, it was my gun. It was super funny. I don't even know why you got searched, dude. I have no idea why you got searched. We were all walking away. They just wanted us off the roof. I'm really shocked that you got searched. I was running from the woo-woos. Nobody likes the woo-woos. I don't like the woo-woos. Oh, no. The dog? Are you kidding? Oh, that sucks. No, roundabout. Chester gets people out of a lot of trouble. Chester's a really great guy. I don't know why more people don't like Chester, but every time Spencer introduces Chester to people, they all run away. It's all Chester's fault. All right, flight director set on both sides, guys. LNAV is engaged. Well, it's not engaged. It's armed. And we're over to 123.45. The plane that does not fly. That's right. Yeah, well, that was really great that happened. That could have been way worse, dude. I'm guessing it was because of the storm. Yeah, basically, that's exactly what happened. Cheers, everybody. Thanks very much for joining us. I Destroy Fist Sticks subscribing. It's year 1. Thank you very much for the sub, Spence. You rock. Support for the community. That's what we like. Appreciate you guys coming by. Absolutely incredible. Guys, do me a favor. Climb your asses over to I Destroy Fist Sticks Twitch channel and give Spencer a follow. And support his community as well. He offers a hell of a roleplay experience, and he is definitely a very, very awesome gentleman to know. Absolutely incredible. Oh, the winds are going to do some funky shit. That's what's going to happen here. Thanks, Solo. Appreciate that. Guys, we're climbing through 6,100 up to flight level 240 tonight. Probably about, what, an hour and a half? What's the ETE show? It says 2 hours, 7 minutes. That'll decrease rapidly once we're, up to speed and at cruise. We're a little late getting off the ground. Not too bad, though. We should be on the ground by 9. There's 7,200 in the climb. Props up to 1,600. We can actually do our climb checklist now. Bleed air valves, they're open. Environmental bleed air is not required. Yaw damper is on. Climb power's been set. Props are at 1,600. That's where they're supposed to be. The windshield anti-ice is normal. Engine instruments we will monitor. Cabin signs, they can go off now. Let the animals out of their seats. Pressurization panel is checked, and climbing and lights are off as required. That's it for the climb checklist. Cruise is going to be next, which we'll do. We're on our way to DCOD next, as you guys can see on the PFD and ND. 71 miles from DCOD. There's 10,000. Up comes the speed. Torque is looking good. It's a little hot. We're using this headset, guys, for those of you that joined us, because our wireless one took a shit just as soon as we started the stream. I can do that roundabout. You have family up in Nebraska? Just a wing wag? I wouldn't know where it is. If there's a waypoint over it, I could do that. Oh, no. Our parents were married. What? What, were they related to Chester? Oh, Oklahoma. Yeah, apparently the only person I ever heard that was from Nebraska, because obviously I'm Canadian, the only person I ever heard that was from Nebraska was Penny from Big Bang Theory. I think she was from Nebraska. Omaha, Nebraska, I think. Something like that. Something like that. Nobody, I've never really heard of anybody from Nebraska, to be honest with you, other than that. What's his face is from Omaha, Nebraska. Well, that makes it extremely clear. There's 18,000 guys. Both altimeters are going to standard, and so is the standby. Omaha, spacing the name. Buffett, Jimmy Buffett? Jimmy Buffett? Like the musician? Or Warren Buffett, the rich person? Disturbed, got it. Yeah, Warren. Warren's the rich guy. Warren Buffett. Very wealthy individual. Oh, really? Huh. Isn't that interesting? A little bit off track, about 2 miles off. Thanks very much for joining us, guys. November 38 Alpha Kilo, Cockpitbuilders.com, live on Twitch. Good to see us. Happy Wednesday to each and every one of you. We stream Wednesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays, but we do have a treat coming up for you guys. Hopefully in the near future, we're going to be doing some GTA streams and likely some ATC streams soon. We'll be doing some ATC, believe it or not. As Solo shows us, you can join us on YouTube at cockpitbuilders.com. Sorry, at youtube.com/cockpitbuilders. You can get us on Twitter at cockpitbuilders. You can get us on Instagram at CB_cockpitbuilders. You can get us on Twitch at cockpitbuilders and discord.io/cockpitbuilders. Plus, one more, cockpitbuilders.com. Guys, you can pretty much get me anywhere that is Cockpit Builders, with the exception of Instagram that pissed me off, and when I created the Cockpit Builders account, they basically yelled at me and told me and banned me and said that I didn't deserve that name for some reason. Not quite sure why. And of course, there's absolutely no way to get a hold of them to prove it. But it is what it is. Alright, let's get these engines set for cruise power here. Torque at about 106 or 107%. LNAV is engaged. The autopilot is on. The airplane is trimmed out. Props are at 1600. And everything else looks pretty good. Brake de-ice is going off. And I think we're pretty much ready to just sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. If you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to jam them in the chat. As always, we're always willing to answer your questions. Myself or Chester would be happy to answer your questions. He's worth $50 billion and lives in the house he was born in and drives a 15-year-old Olds. Wow, that's awesome. Talk about not being that frugal, right? Welcome to all my friends. Thank you very much for hanging out with us. A big special welcome to Mr. I Destroy Fish Sticks. Please head over to his Twitch channel and give him a follow. He offers one hell of an awesome, laughing, entertaining, hilarious RP GTA 5 stream. Panzer Monkey, thank you very much for the follow. Sam Walton was like that as well, roundabout. I didn't realize that. Yeah, I know. There was the Walton family is still all very, very involved in Walmart, if I'm not mistaken. All right, let's set this over to map mode and change the range on this bad boy. We've got these two fine gentlemen down in TCAS. We'll put the data on this one. So we got our altitudes. This one we don't want centered. He drove a 30-year-old Ford pickup. Now, I'm sure it was in great shape. Yeah, I'm sure it was well taken care of. Probably be a very good description. Check the engines. Each generator is pulling what it's supposed to, and the prop amps are good. And we can get into the cruise checklists. Cruise power is set per the cruise power table graphs. Auto feather is off. ECS mode is not required. Engine instruments, we're monitoring them. Fuel gauges, we're monitoring them. Engine ice protection is still on. And if the anti-ice system is not working, we're going to go ahead and turn on the auto ignition just in case. And we watch out for icing. We're going to leave the left and right fuel vent heat is on. They are on. The stall warning heat is on as well. The wing ice light, we only have to turn that on if it's dark. And we don't need the alternate static source. So we're pretty much good to go, folks. My whole steam's dead. My whole team's dead. Oh, wow. What's different about it? What's different about what, dude? What's POSCON? So, it's still in beta right now. I'm part of the alpha beta testing team. And it's like 25 hertz refresh rate on aircraft positioning, and the audio is, I find, way clearer. Plus, they use all real-world frequencies. So, if I'm going into an airport that's being controlled, I don't want to have to look in a little window to find out, like, there's no text, okay? There's no text-based chat like there is with VATSIM, so there's none of those bing-bong messages to contact me. I monitor guard frequency on my COM2. If somebody calls me on that, then I'll hear it because I'm monitoring guard. Other than that, it's real-world frequencies. I'm going into an airport, and I want to know what the approach frequency is. I just get the frequency right off the chart. It's absolutely incredible. Thanks for the follow, CPT Monster 87. Appreciate that. Disturbed Plus Buffett wouldn't pay for his kids or grandkids' college. Said he worked his way through, and they should also. He also not leaving them a dime because he thinks it will spoil them. Well, it's an interesting way of doing it. I don't see why you couldn't leave them a trust fund that they would get when they turn 50 or 40 or something like that, because by then they're either set up or they're not. I'm sure they're all successful. You're very welcome. If you do have any questions, though, we're always happy to answer your questions. The more questions people ask, the happier we are, because the faster the flight goes. Guys, it looks like we got about an hour and 20 minutes till we land. Thanks for hanging out with us. We're just sitting here. We're going to listen to the ASMR of the Pratt & Whitney engines. That wouldn't surprise me roundabout if he sends it all to charity. Well, see, you got to remember, those guys, they start a foundation. Usually because it becomes a tax, a write-off for them to put money into the foundation, and then the foundation invests it, which makes more money. So they end up using the profits from the foundation to actually give away to other organizations that need the money as a charity. So I think pretty much all those wealthy guys have foundations set up. That's usually the way it goes. Scotty, you know how this fucking goes, right? We get talking about one thing and then we get talking about another. So we were talking about Omaha, Nebraska, and then that went to a Buffett lived there, and I said Jimmy, and he said no, and then the other gentleman in the chat, Mr. Disturbed, said Warren. I said, yeah, that's the other one. And then we started talking about that. So yeah, you know how it goes. Yeah, well, exactly. You never know where this chat's gonna go, right? I'm Canadian. It's just the way it goes. I'll talk about anything. Yeah, go fish, Scotty. It's your turn. But don't go fish sticks because somebody will destroy them. Trinity, hi, you're off for a bit. Hopefully I'll be back for the descent. No problem, buddy. Thanks for dropping by. If I don't see you, then I won't see you, so have a good night. Thanks very much for hanging out, guys. Appreciate you being here. We do have a fish stick destroyer in the crowd, and he's my very special friend. He's my number one friend. Mr. Wayne, how's it going, Lagnaf? Good to see you. Hopefully you are being safe and everything's going well on the island. Lanky95, yo to you. And yes, Roundabout, we will make sure we stay away from all the woo-woos. We don't like the woo-woos. Yep, East Texas Regional. Kilo Golf Golf Golf. Fess is my number one friend and always will be, with Zodius, who is also my number one friend. And you, Scotty, are also my number one friend. Don't forget, I can't count, so everybody's number one. Well, with the exception of Chester. Chester's got a number 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, a 6, and a 7 friend. And technically he's got a number 8 friend if it counts the female that he ran into. Yeah, I've got all kinds. Guys, the wraparound screen has software provided by Fly Elise. Fly Elise has the most incredible software called Immersive Display Pro, which allows me to run the 3 projectors in a full 180-degree wraparound screen. It's pretty awesome. It comes with the ultimate license, about 480 euros, guys, and you can do up to 16 projectors with it. The nice thing about it is it has the Immersive Calibration Pro software, which really gets a decent warp set up for you so that you don't have to do it. Nah, Scotty, you do not. You are not number 20. Number 02? 0.2? Why is your stream suck tonight, Lagnaf? Maybe in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen you can change it. Maybe you're not at 1080. Maybe you're down at like 160p or something like that. Guys, you got to make sure you're watching the full 1080 stream. We stream at 30 frames, 1080. We just don't get transcoding guaranteed because we're not a partner. All right, Tull is next. Tango Uniform Lima on our way. Cruising at flight level 240. Everything looks good here. We've got winds out of 007 at 22 knots. Everything looks good and in the green. I'm happy with that. The coffee, nice and hot. Kev Sim Corner, you bet it is. Absolutely 100%. We've got actually winds at a 010 at 21 knots now, so it's changing a little bit of a headwind. 315 over the ground, 245 indicated. Thanks for the follow, VATC. Good to see you. Welcome to the channel. Guys, we're flying live on the POSCON network. If you want to find out more about POSCON, sign up at POSCON.net. I know that they'll be doing more invites. They just did a bunch more invites, and they're going to do a bunch more. Things are going really well with the network, and it's very, very stable. So you definitely, if you like flying in an online ATC environment, throw your name into the hat and get an opportunity. There is now a ATC on in select areas. And when you are in the live map, you can actually see where the ATC is controlling. There's also a calendar that will list when they are upcoming air traffic control sessions. So ATC is available. Where we're flying right now, there is not ATC. But they're absolutely great group of guys. The controllers are awesome. And slowly adding more sectors as the days go on. Excellent. Well done, Denali. Appreciate that. Guys, for those of you that wonder what are the differences, well, okay, so you kind of got me, because that's exactly me the way I like it. Like, I still fly on VATSIM once in a while, okay? But the alternative, I will not do it. Out of personal principle and out of the cost. For what you get, I don't think it's worth it. But what I will say is POSCON steps it up a level of realism. So you're more apt to get more individuals that will either A, teach you better to be better, or B, just have a more experienced experience altogether. So it's definitely a lot better for sure. It's definitely really, really good. And really, it's just a great organization to have something, to be a part of. I've got a bunch of friends that are a part of it. I have, it's really, it's a slow process, but I think it's worth fighting for. Like, it's worth sticking it out. Learning opportunities and immersion. That's exactly what it's all about. Now, obviously, when we're flying into and out of an uncontrolled airport, if there's a published CTAF frequency, you're required to use the CTAF. If there is not a published CTAF and it's normally a controlled airport, you use 122.950. That's the only difference, where VATSIM is a 122.8 no matter what. We use the published CTAF, and if there isn't a published CTAF, we use 122.950. But we always have to have our second radio tuned to the guard frequency in case ATC comes online. But now here's the thing, if you're using real world frequencies and ATC comes online, they can just talk to you on guard, switch you over to the correct frequency, and if you don't hear what the frequency is, you just open your chart, go to whatever frequency you need to, and that's the way it goes. So, Loungefly, the reason they're limiting it is because they're scaling the infrastructure. So if you take 5,000 people and jam them on brand new infrastructure, chances are, the system's going to crash, right? So what they do is they allow in so many people, and then they see how the system performs. And if they need to tweak some stuff, they'll tweak it. And then if they need to expand servers and all that other stuff, they can. And they do it in growth spurts. And then once they're sure that things are stable, they'll expand it to some more people. I'm not sure if you guys remember when VATSIM changed their audio codec, they completely crashed their system, their voice servers, so fast because they weren't prepared for the influx of people. And think about when Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 was released, they didn't anticipate all the Joe Blow, I want to fly over my house and grandma's house coming onto the network, and it just slowed it to a crawl and crashed it. So we do things little by little to ensure things are stable, and unfortunately, sometimes when you find something's not stable, you go back to the drawing board and have to redesign it. And there's been a few versions of software in order to get it to where it is right now. I think it's in a good opportunity where it is now, and I think it's getting there. But there's obviously limitations to the infrastructure, right? $315 over the ground, guys. We're going to bring the torque up a little bit more. Welcome to the stream. Thanks very much for joining us. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask them. We're always happy to answer your questions. What do you mean one thing you haven't found yet is the voice codec? The voice codec for what, Denali? For VATSIM, it's built into the vPilot client. So the new version of the vPilot client has it built in, and it's definitely better. But with POSCON, you get distance blocking based on your position to the real world radio towers, as well as if there's terrain blocking. If there's terrain between you, you could be flying with a partner, and if there's a mountain between us, it's going to be staticky. It's just the way it works. You could be sitting at an airport, you're trying to key up clearance, but if you got terrain blocking between you and the controllers running clearance delivery, or the center controllers, they're not going to hear you. So you're going to have to call them when you get in the air. That's just the way it goes. Stay VFR until you're in the air and you can contact them. Yes, I totally understand, Denali. Yeah, it's very, 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 very realistic. But that's because POSCON has their own stuff that makes it extremely realistic. Like where VATSIM, every transmitter can hear you from like 1,000 miles away. Well, at 25,000 feet, absolutely I can transmit a hell of a long distance. But down at 500 feet, no way. Master Chief, I've seen them over the ocean talk on radios and ask for position reports across the oceanic. How do they do that if their radio's only 30 miles? Well, don't they have dead zones? There's definitely dead zones when they're crossing the ocean. Well, they use HF radios, exactly. But I don't, like, they use the, what is that? I can't remember the name of it. But I don't have that stuff here, right? Unicom, yeah, Unicom frequency is 30 miles, but you know why that is, Master Chief? That's set for 30 miles so that you don't have 500 guys all talking on the same frequency, right? That would be really bad. And 30 miles doesn't seem really realistic either, actually. You would think at 25,000 feet it would go further than 30 miles. Well, A380 Wingman, I'm not going to agree or disagree with you, but what I am going to say is that every single organization has its ups and downs, has people that have been pissed off or mistreated, has people that do not believe they've been treated fairly or legitimately have not been treated fairly. I think every organization has some level of issues, and I think that when you have a network that's got 5,000 or 6,000, I mean, the Cockpit Builders website, we've got 4,000 members, okay? 4,000 members, shit tons of posts, and there's still people that I come across that can't get along with other people. It happens, but do I agree that there have been some less than stellar decisions made to some really good people? Absolutely, 100%. Maybe it's 30 parsecs and not 30 miles? Could be. It could be. A380 Wingman, I think everybody hopes that all networks will just have respectful people on it that will not look to their own agendas to make the experience as realistic for virtual pilots as possible. That's the way I would like to see it approached. Because I think everybody wants the most realistic, within reason, flight experience that you could possibly have. And I think at this point in time, although VATSIM hits the mark in many points, I think that what works in VATSIM doesn't always work everywhere else. And I think what works in POSCON works in POSCON. If you could take, well, I can say this, I have not had a bad experience with anybody within the POSCON network. Any complaints, I shouldn't say complaints, any negative feedback that is put towards a pilot is done so in the way of mentoring that individual to become a more realistic or a better pilot. I think that there's a lot of positive decisions that the management is making, and I think that everybody really at the end of the day just wants a realistic virtual flight experience, and I think that's what POSCON delivers. But I would like them to have a lot more ATC on, and I'd like them to have a lot more ATC events. And my name is Chester, CHESTER. Where are these guys? These guys are just behind me, not far. Not far. Not far behind, guys. Thanks very much for being here. November 38 Alpha Kilo, Cockpitbuilders.com. Good to see you. Eric, how's it going, buddy? Absolutely 100% Eric. Inside Microsoft Flight Simulator, I have all my controllers disabled. 100%. The only thing that has assignments, well, you don't disable the controllers, you just remove all the assignments from it. So the only thing that I have assignments on is obviously keyboard and mouse. But yeah, everything I have in here is done through FSU IPC, 100%. Now, Eric, there's something else that I will tell you. When you set up, for instance, your ailerons and you move the axis in FSU IPC, and then you go over to the window you want to send to FSU IPC calibration. And then when you go into the FSU IPC calibration, for instance, for ailerons, and you go all the way to the left and click one button, go all the way to the middle, a little bit to the left of middle, click the middle button, a little bit to the right of middle, click the middle button, and all the way to the right and click the end button. What you may find is even using the slope to reduce the slope, you may find that things are still too sensitive. And what you can do is, if you exit Flight Sim and open the FSUIPC.ini file and scroll down, you'll see the ranges that you set up for the aileron axis. If you take the maximum range and the negative minimum range and add 50% to them. So if, let's say, it's -6 or plus 16,000 to -16,000, if you make it like 32,000 to -32,000, what it will do is it will desensitize your entire aileron movement even further. Although built in FSUIPC in the calibration, you can only do a maximum of 16 and -16. If you edit the INI file after the fact and actually extend it out by 2,000 or 3,000, which is what I have done, if you extend it out by about 2,000 or 3,000, I did it more for my elevators than I did for my ailerons. If you extend them out by 2,000 or 3,000 or 5,000, what it will actually do is it'll make it less sensitive, because one of the biggest problems that you have with Flight Sim 2020 is everything flies like a piece of shit. So by actually desensitizing like the rudder and the elevators, you can actually desensitize them further by editing the file. As long as you don't go back into the calibration and re-click on those boxes, you will never lose those values. But as soon as you go in and re-click on those values, you'll have to go back and edit the INI file again. Just saying. Just an option for you in case you don't quite get it set up the way you want. And Loungefly, no, I do not use anything MobiFlight. I put my own Arduino script in the Arduinos. I run Lewis script in FSUIPC. And I've got 6 Arduinos controlling the sim. Guys, keep the questions coming. Thanks very much for being here. Appreciate you guys being here. Absolutely, A380 Wingman. That's exactly what happens. And you know what? No network in the planet is ever going to be perfect. You know, you can't put the rose-colored sunglasses on and say, there will be no trolls, there will be no drama, there will be no crap. But if it's managed properly right from the get-go, which I'm sure, I mean, look at how old VATSIM is, okay? If VATSIM wasn't managed properly to begin with, it would never be where it is today, and it would have never survived. So somebody over there must be doing something right. The best part about VATSIM, it's free, it's free, it's free, and it's free. Okay? POSCON is also free, but you can only complain so much about a free product. I just built my first Arduino radio controller. Well done, Loungefly. Good for you. Screen, rotary dials, buttons for flipping major, minor parts of the frequency, and flipping active standby. So, Loungefly, the middle radio. This is my radio management panel. So I can select COM1, COM2, NAV1, NAV2, transponder, my ADF, and I use one rotary encoder to move all the standbys, and then I use the push button on the rotary to flip the active and the standby. The buttons on the side are my squawk mode C, squawk ident, and select which frequency I'm actually transmitting on, whether it be COM1 or COM2. You agree with that statement, Denali? Yeah, that's exactly, that's the way I look at it. Every, have I been pissed off on VATSIM before? Sure have. Many a times. But what I do is when I have a bad experience, I get very angry. You guys have seen it on stream before. I've cussed, I've swore, and then I get off, and then I forget about it, because at the end of the day, I had a good flight, even though I might have had a problem along the way. Yeah, Loungefly, working with Arduinos is fantastic because you can always modify your code. You can always make adjustments to your code. You can always do all kinds of things. Once again, I'd like to thank Commando Solo, Mosh Pit TV, and I Destroy Fish Sticks for the subscriptions. Appreciate that and the support for the channel. You guys are all absolutely amazing. Thank you very much. We like the continued support. Commando Solo also in there, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Did I say it? Yeah, I did. Commando Solo, we always appreciate you. Sim Crash Mike, what up with you, sir? And Denali 907 coming in with a Twitch Prime subscription. Thank you very much. Tier 1. Denali, welcome to the subscriber club. Good to see you. You're slowly getting to the Arduino part. I may use Moby to get some segment displays from FSU IPC. You can do that, but there's other ways of doing it. I've not done the 7-segment displays because the Collins autopilot doesn't have the 7 segs on it. But there is I think it's an I2C card that Fess was talking to me about. And it's, I don't know, 4 wires to the Arduino to the card, and it just makes the 7 segments work. Like, they're actually, you can purchase them for your radios, for instance, or the autopilot, and they come in groups. So I think they're groups of 4, and you can put them together. Yes, I destroy fish sticks. I certainly can. Hello, Spencer. This is my number 1 friend. This is Chester, CHESTER. How's it going? Spencer? I really miss my best number 1 friend. And Charlie and Katie and T-Ray, you are absolutely the most wonderful people in the whole wide world. And we do not like the woo-woos. We stay as far away from the woo-woos all we can. Now I gotta wipe all the fucking spit off the windshield, for fuck's sakes. Oh crap, the kids are probably awake, dude. Sorry. I gotta watch my mouth. It could be a family event. It's your wife doesn't believe you that it's Chester, but it's totally Chester. I still remember the day that you followed me up beside Legion, and all I saw was your finger coming up beside me saying, you are coming with me. You are my new best friend. Loungefly, thank you very much for the follow. Disturbed47, thanks very much for the follow. It was super hilarious, dude. All the best to your wife and your kids. I'm sure you're going to be putting them to bed soon, dude. But really appreciate you taking the time to drop by, man. Another new friend. We like friends. The more people that hang out, the better it is. It's awesome. Yeah, it's definitely. That was one of my best Chesters right there. That was like totally Chester. Thanks very much for being here, guys. 52 minutes, we'll be on the ground. Just a short stream tonight, 2 hours gate to gate, and then we'll be done with that. It's going to be absolutely awesome. Going into Lincoln, Nebraska. You love hearing laugh on your open mic. I know I'm doing my job. Well, see, that's exactly it. And sometimes it's really difficult because I'm not sure if it's you, but sometimes you call me Charlie instead of Chester, and then it's Chester, not Charlie, and oh my God, it's so funny. That's the best part. The server's a lot of fun. I like the community, and seems to be a good bunch of people. Well, I think we all do. For sure. Actually, I found out that Jesse doesn't like Chester very much. I was surprised by that today. Oh, that is awesome. I love that. That's the wet brain for sure. No, probably doesn't. She actually said the alternative to that. I think she said the alternative to that in the public channel today. It was super funny. Anyway, it's really great. I know the whole RP world's supposed to be the RP world, but me, I like to have fun, and I like to talk about it because it's so much fun. Guys, welcome to the channel. If you haven't been here before, you can ask your questions all you like. We're always here and happy to answer your questions. Kilo Papa Victor 03, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Good to see you. We're on our way, guys, to Lincoln, Nebraska. We left East Texas Regional Airport, Kilo Golf Golf Golf, and on our way to Kilo Lima November Victor. Nope. Lincoln, LNK, Lima November Kilo. Yep, sounds good, Fish Sticks. Thanks very much, buddy. We'll see you. Love you. Bye. Ciao, man. We'll talk to you again soon. Thanks for coming by. Appreciate it. Wow, that's awesome. I Destroy Fistchicks, guys. Get your asses over and give that man a follow. He's an incredible individual, and he's funny as heck. Absolutely awesome. Yeah, Krusty, I am actually in a real plane. It's a real Beechcraft Model 99 that has been converted into a KingAir 350i. So the real yoke, the real rudder pedals, the real throttle quadrant, the real shell, the real windshield, the real windows, the real shell. Here you go as proof. The outside shell. Real airplane, just not really flying. As I said to my friend Spencer, I have an airplane, but it doesn't really fly. But it does fly, but it doesn't really fly. A lot of fun, guys. Appreciate you guys dropping by. We stream Wednesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Different content. Flight sim primarily. Little ATC coming up in the future. And probably some more, probably at some point, some GTA streams. But generally, if you guys want to watch me and my RP for GTA, there's a couple of really good individuals. I Destroy Fistchicks is one. And Digital Mike is another. And if you guys follow them, you'll always be sure to run into Chester eventually. $268 miles out of Lima, November Kilo. Top of descent, 228 miles. No, Eric, there's a couple of ways to do it. Depends, what aircraft are you trying to get? There's a couple of ways you can do it. See, Project Magenta allows me to run these screens on other machines. There are a crap ton of ways to add multiple monitors to your existing Flight Sim PC. For instance, I'm not sure if you know, but if you control and right-click on the G1000s in 2020, you can drag them to another monitor. You can totally move them, right? So that's one way of doing it. There's Reality XP gauges can be dragged to run on other monitors. There's also software you can buy. I can't remember the name of it. It's sort of free, but not really free. I can't, Sim Innovations or something. That's another way you can go. Air Manager, is that what it's called? Yeah, maybe that's it. I didn't like it because I don't think you're really gaining anything, and I think it's expensive for what you're getting. I didn't really like that very much. What airplane are you trying to recreate? That's a better question. Okay, so Eric, here is a little secret for you. Project Magenta is probably the most affordable 737 setup you can get. And mark my words, and I will tell you this, it is the most robust and will generally always work. However, it does not have all the bells and whistles to which some of the other software platforms have. But note that I said it is the most robust, easy to maintain, and it just works. And as of right this minute, the only extra software for 7.3 that you can get that will work currently with Flight Sim 2020. Now, there is two other pieces of software. One of them I refuse to talk about because I do not support it whatsoever. The other one is called ProSim, and ProSim is very, very good. It is full of a lot, and I mean a lot, of eye candy and features that Project Magenta does not have. However, it is a bitch to configure. It is extremely expensive because it's subscription model based. I think when you buy it, you only buy it for a year or something like that. I don't know the exact details, but it's very difficult to set up and maintain. The third one that I'm not going to talk about is the most unreliable, the most expensive, and literally you got to be a software engineer to set it all up. So don't even consider that one. But your options are go with something like Air Manager. I recommend Project Magenta because it's proven, it works, and it does what it needs to do. And then you've got ProSim AR, which is the other one, and that is another good piece of software. You can figure it out reading the manuals, emailing support. It's not that bad, but it's expensive. It's very expensive. Yeah, so Eric, I don't know which flight sim you're flying, but if you're in P3D or X-Plane, just use pop-out windows. X-Plane's different altogether though, right? And I wouldn't even go down that path because I never went down that path. PMDG, I knew a guy that did a complete 737 cockpit on one PC, and he undocked all the PMDG, MFDs, PFDs. He got software to work with it. He got the FMC to work with it. He did a lot of things. So if you're using 2020, you can undock things, some displays for now. I don't know about the Dreamliner. You'd have to try it. The 7.4, you have to try it. But I think it's control and right click. Left control and right click should open them up. And then you can drag them onto other monitors. I don't know what the performance is like by doing that, though. "41 minutes, guys. We should be on the ground. Progress page shows 264 miles, 193 to top of descent. Thanks very much for hanging out with us. Denali. So I am in the process of quitting smoking, and this is kind of my little niche. this is a 50-50 blend of 6 milligram, which is kind of low nicotine, but it's a oh, does it kill your frames, Scotty? I don't know about performance with that. This flavor is kind of a how do I describe it? It's not fruity and it's not cigarette-ish. It's actually like sweet. I guess it's sort of a sweet tobacco kind of a thing, but it doesn't taste like Grandpa's old dirty laundry. I prefer my non-flavored vape, but the non-flavored vape is a 70-30 mix, and I find I choke on it more than I do on the 50-50 mix. So I'm hoping that by the time I get through this 50-50, I'll be able to switch back to my 70-30, and I'll probably be okay with it. I actually prefer the flavorless. But it's funny because I've cut my cigarette intake from a pack and a half a day, and I'm down to about 10 cigarettes a day. So I basically cut it into a third, more than a third, just slightly more than a third. I've cut my smoking down, and after a couple of weeks of this, I'll try and cut it down a little more. I'm not rushing it because I'll quit when I quit, but the nice part is I know that it's time for me to quit. I'm done with it. So my plan is eventually to get right off the cigarette. And yes, everybody I talk to says, no, you don't know what you're doing. You got to quit cold turkey. I can tell you right now, if I'm forced to quit cold turkey, I'll be back on the cigarettes in no time. Oh, you graduated to fruity and 3 milligram pineapple. Well done. No cigs since October though, so something happened. Maybe it just got too cold. Maybe. So I've quit cold turkey before. I vaped once before as well. But I didn't really stick to it because I wasn't ready to quit. I'm ready to quit now. I'm very close. I was sick and tired of waking up in the middle of the night or roll over and just start hacking up a lung and all that bullshit. Since I've been on the vape and like lessened the cigarettes, I don't hack up a lung when I get up in the morning. I don't feel like I got somebody sitting on my chest anymore. So already it's getting better. Some of the hairs in the back of my throat are starting to grow back. It's pretty good. It's a good feeling. I have more energy, that's for sure. Oh, Denali, I get completely what you're saying. Okay, so I'm guessing that affects your healthcare premium? Huh. Well, Loungefly, I'm not completely, but I'm working on it. Disturbed 47, I smoked 2 packs a day for 30 years and quit overnight. By overnight, I mean triple heart bypass surgery. Yeah, so I think when your body is in a situation like that, that is exactly what your body needs. When you go through something like that and the doctor says to you, you got 2 options, quit smoking or die. It's like pretty easy decision. So I applaud you for that, and I'm really sorry that you had to go through that. But absolutely 100%, I think that would make anybody completely give it up. Sim Caesar with 100 bits. Warm turkey bits at that. I would like everybody in the channel to please raise a glass and welcome the amazing Sir Sim Caesar, Twitch partner, ruler of all, and my personal friend, I think. Something like that. I'm close. Something like that. How's it going, Sim Caesar? Good to see you. Denali with 100 bits. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, SFly2, for the follow. And SFly2, when Microsoft Flight Simulator properly supports home cockpits, will you transition? SFly2, we're already running 2020. I love your nuts, Caesar. You got great donuts, man. Cockpitbuilders' biggest fan. I don't think that was ever in it, Sim Caesar, but I was close. Best Bengals 1214, love the channel. Hey man, thank you. I love having you here. You know what? We talk about just about everything that you could think of, and we fly the airplane, have a few beers, and have a few laughs. As long as everybody's having fun and laughing, that's really, really, really all that matters. Thank you very much for being here, guys, all of you. Oh no! Oh, SFly2. No, that's a dirty word around here. And it's only because I just don't understand it. My interfacing programming would all have to change if I went to explain. So, Eric, that's what I'm looking forward to. There's two things I'm looking forward to. One of them being multi-monitor support. Because right now we're just running, what, 37 or 57 something by 1080 resolution. And I still think that it's supposed to be a flat screen. It's not taking into effect or into account the focal point and field of view and all that shit. So if they can come up with that, that's going to be number one. Number two is going to be they gotta fix the flight dynamics. Either that or just let me click a button that says the airplanes will behave like they did in FSX. And let me get an air file and let me configure it with a config file more so than what I have already. I actually think, because I've done a lot of work in the 2020 aircraft config file for the KingAir, I've done a lot of work and I've gotten it better, but I still think there's things locked out that I can't change. That I change, but it doesn't actually change. I actually think that there's some shit locked out in there. I really, really do. So let's try and get caught up on the chat here. Katja, hey, how's it going? Good to see ya. Eric, I see that it's coming. It'll be exciting if it's coming. I hope that it's coming. Nilsson Live, holy jazz, is that a real plane or a super realistic simulator? So it is a super realistic simulator, but it is a real plane. Real windshield, real throttle quadrant, real rudder pedals, it was a real airplane. It flew once, and I'll give you the outside shell to prove it. SFly2 question, what program are you running for the avionics and instruments interface with Microsoft Flight Simulator? We're running the Project Magenta suite. It has been tailored and altered and configured, the config files, to make it as closely represent the performance of the KingAir and the ProLine 21 instrument pack that we could possibly do. But it's not quite right, because obviously the PFDs would be more Avidyne-like and would actually have the blue over or orange would come way over to the outside edges. But it does the best for me. It allows me an interface to it. It's configured with all the data for the KingAir ProLine 21 on it, and it's good to go 100%. Did I watch the new aerodynamics video? No, I did not. I think that everything that comes out of Microsoft and Asobo's mouth should not be repeated, because I don't know if they're telling the truth. I don't really believe in vaporware. I like to see shit for my own eyes. And that's not meant to be rude. It just is what it is. Are you and AJ friends? Yes, I would like to consider myself AJ's friend. Whether or not he considers me a friend, well, I guess that's probably a question you'd have to ask AJ. If you're talking about POSCON, AJ, that is. Nielsen Live, damn nice work, dude. Thanks very much. I appreciate the nice comments. S-Fly2, from what I've heard, anything that you have seen in the videos, forum posts will be integrated with Sim Update 3 in a week or two. Okay, whoa, and be careful with that statement. Whoa with that statement. So, I wouldn't say everything that you read is going to be implemented in a week or two, okay? There will be some features that they slowly add over the next couple of years, 100%. 100%, but do I think that they're going to go that far in a couple of weeks? No, I do not. You're talking about Ground Point Niner. So, Ground Point Niner is a great individual. He and I were very close friends. I have nothing to say on the subject. I'll keep that between AJ and myself. He is a good individual, and I'm sure he does the best he can. That's what they said on the Dev Q&A today. Well, there must be a list that you're talking about, because I've seen stuff that they have that's like really far gone. Like the multi-display interfacing and the fact that people want to have all the VFR points of interest, like radar or antennas, TV towers, radios, all kinds of things that you can navigate by, railroad tracks. I don't think they're putting all that shit in 2 weeks. Maybe S-Fly2. You know what? I like to see. The number one problem that I have with Asobo and Microsoft is they force the updates down your throat. You can see this is a pretty complex setup, right? Pretty complex setup. The biggest problem is when they release an update and it borks everything. What I really personally like is if they would give me the option to, at my convenience, if I have a stream tonight and there's an update there, whoa, I'll update tomorrow when I'm not streaming. But it doesn't give me that option. The second thing is when they force the update down and wreck everything, why can't I click a button to roll back? I want to roll back off that update because it was working and now it's not working. Let me roll back until you fix your shit. But they don't let you do that. So it's just like Microsoft, right? Microsoft has always been about, oh, we got an update. It's a really good thing. We're dumping this to you. Oh, sorry, we broke your computer, but fuck, whatever. At least you're safe. Yeah, you're safe because you can't turn your fucking computer on. Like, what is wrong with people? I have no idea. It's got a lot better, Eric. I think that they stand on a line. For instance, Drone Flyer, if you ask him, he can't even fly the KingAir in 2020 anymore since the last update. As soon as you get up in the air, it fucking plane does whatever it wants. Now, I keep using my previous version of the KingAir. Every time the new system installs, I have a backup and I just recopy my KingAir back in so that they can't screw it up. But when they screw up something like the SimConnect interface or different SimConnect variables or crashes to desktop or loading and it crashes, I can't do anything to fix that. My hands are tied. There was an update that we got 6 months, 5 months, 4 months ago. I don't know. It was like November or something. They updated. My sim kept crashing whenever you tried to launch it. Didn't even get to the, you know, when the music just plays and it started the Japan update thing and then poof, crashed the desktop. And there was nothing I could do to fix it. It was absolutely horrible. Exactly. If I do not want to install the update, I do not want to have to install the update. And I don't understand what's wrong with that. All right, where are we at here? We're going in on runway 36. And I think what's going to happen is it's actually directing us direct to the airport and then back out to pick the ILS 36. So I think what we're going to do is we're just going to fly straight in 36, which means we got to start our descent now.
Top of descent.
Auspicious One coming in with the Tier 1 sub. That's 16 months for her. Welcome, Auspicious. Thanks for being here.
Auspicious_1 Tier 1 sub.
54 Delta Charlie, KingAir 8 Alpha Kilo.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just to let you know, we're going straight in runway 36 until I see a METAR that's going to change my mind. We're going direct Thews at this time. Tango Hotel, Echo, Whiskey, Sierra. Let's bring up the METAR.
What did you say you were going direct to?
Tango Hotel, Echo, Whiskey, Sierra. Where the hell are we going? LNK. Devil's Reject 63, how's it going? Good to see you. Welcome to the channel. Alright, current winds are 000 at 0 knots. 10 miles visibility, overcast at 1900. Temperatures -6, dew point -11. Altimeter's 3050. Well, how about them apples? No winds, straight in 36. No winds and straight in 36. So 3,300 is where we want to be. And we still got 114 miles to get there. We will look at the approach. Thanks for the follow, CMT E Good God. It is 2020, 100% Devil's Reject. 100%. This is definitely 2020. All right, where are we? Yeah, 100%. All right, let's look at the approach straight in 36. Hey, come on, iPad. You can do it. All right, on the iPad, it shows. Of course I did. Well, it's actually a real airplane that I converted. So we're going direct to Thews. And it looks like Thews is at Beatrice to Thews. Thews is 2,800 by the looks of things. Potts. So 2,800 at Potts, 3,300, sorry, 3,300 at Thews. Exactly, Beatrice. That's right, Beatrice. All right, so Thews at 3,300. Potts at 28. Runway 36 at 1170. Airport elevation should be 1170. Krusty, it's gonna seem a bit obvious, but you're Canadian, yeah? 100%. Thank you for noticing, though. Actually, airport elevation 1,175 feet. Oh, Devil's Rejects, you're Canadian as well? Welcome. I'm sorry that I'm Canadian. You're half Canadian yourself? Huh. The good half, right? Not the bad half? I'm proud to be from Canada as well. Although all my American friends hate me for it. My Canadian friends hate me for it as well, actually, now that I think about it. Sasquatch, don't make fun of him that way. Devil's Reject, I'm in Ontario as well. Alright, so looking at what we're doing here. Yeah, I have dual citizenship myself, actually, but not with America. Yeah, mine's British. I'm actually tri-citizenship. I've got African, Zimbabwean, actually, British, and Canadian. I've got 3 citizenships. The tundra. It's not the tundra, Scotty. There's places in Maine that are further north, and, you know, Fargo, North Dakota is further north than where I live. Oh, that is super funny. But no, I'm not. I'm British. I'm British Saws in the UK. Yes, SJ Fly 2. I've flown firefighter, CR 410, whatever it is. I can't think of it. CL 215. CL 215, I think it was, firefighting aircraft I've flown in this. I'm more so looking forward to being able to switch it over to a Premier jet. So that I can, it's still a Proline 21, I can just switch out the throttle quadrant and fly a Premier jet. The cockpit would be the same size. Alaskan interior, oh, excellent. Thanks, Scotty, appreciate that. CL415, thanks, Master Chief. I've been drinking. That's my excuse. I knew it was something. Anyways, gotta look at this approach, guys. We're coming up on 80 miles. It's time to start down. A Premier sim would be way cool. Yeah, I'd only have to switch the throttle quadrant. Just about everything else would be enough to be the same. 3,300. There'd be, I mean, some minor differences in the main instrument panel, but not enough that I'd have to worry about. KingAir, November 38 Alpha Kilo, we're out of 240 for 330 at Thews. Jared, you had some Premier time back in the day? That's awesome. SJ Fly 2, no, I use Navigraph charts just because it's a lot cheaper than 4Flight. Duel! How's it going, Duel? Good to see you, buddy. Welcome back. Alright, descending into Lincoln, Nebraska, folks. It's going. I'm still down to about, I guess, over 12 hour, well, not 12 hour, my awake time, about 10 smokes. I've still cut it back a third from what it was. Doing really good, though. Yeah, well, Devil's Reject, you can't call Flight Sim 2020 a simulator because it flies like dog shit. So it is definitely flight game. Yeah, Duel, it's going good, man. I'm doing well. I'm a lot happier with myself, and really, that's all that matters. I'm getting there. Alright, let's bring this descent down. My descent rate at this point needs to be Microsoft Scenery Simulator, yeah. Yes, I have flown real airplanes before, but I do not have my pilot's license. Ah, Krusty, nah, that's funny. That doesn't surprise me either. What does surprise me, though, is you switch to X-Plane. It is. I've already noticed a difference, Duel. I've already noticed a difference from, you know, the financial standpoint. Not going through near as many packages of smokes a day at almost $18 a pack. Well, so, hey, absolutely, good God. You are entitled to your own opinion 100%. 100%, and I applaud that, and good for you. But when you're sitting with a KingAir with default settings and you put the power on and touch the rudder pedals and the thing goes completely sideways, or you spring the throttles back to idle and the airplane will not slow down or drop, seems way unrealistic to me. So yeah, I'm in the same boat, except started it like that Pro Logic crap, and then started with like the monochrome version of Flight Simulator, but really I've been building these flight sims for 20 years. So since the late 90s, early 2000s, when I really started building flight sims and working hardcore into the sim, and flight dynamics on any of the airplanes, I don't know. As far as I'm concerned, in the experience that I have, I would disagree, but you know what? Everybody is allowed to disagree. Yeah, but, so good God, I don't configure anything in the game itself because to me, there's not enough granularity. I use FSU IPC, and I've modified the flight dynamics files as best I can with some minor roadblocks. And I've got this flying pretty good. Do I think it flies like the real thing? Not yet. I'm still working on it. Oh, Krusty, I would agree with that. Is there a free app or site that'll show you taxiways live while you're on it? No, not a free one. Not a free one, Duel. Master Chief, the only exception to that is I believe there is a mod that you can get that somewhat makes it better and more realistic. Oh, a 310 is a beautiful airplane. I actually watch 310 Pilot on YouTube all the time, and he's kind of got me convinced that the 310 is a nice little airplane. I actually really like that. Yeah, Jared, so that's Navigraph. I pay what, $6, maybe $10 a month, maybe. But I get the entire world worth of charts for $10 a month. So I find that relatively cheap, and I can cancel my subscription whenever I want. What do we got for altimeter setting? 3050. We'll set that. Oh, so you got to remember Project Magenta only connects to Flight Simulator via a program called FSUIPC. So you need to have FSUIPC 7, and Project Magenta connects to FSUIPC, and then FSUIPC sends it the data from Flight Sim through FSUIPC. So Project Magenta, all of them will work with 2020. 3050 is set. Confirmed on the standby as well. That's looking good. Still winds are 000 at 0 knots going into Lincoln, Nebraska. Thanks very much for being here, guys. I'm going to bring that power setting back even more now. I have close to 500 hours now in the FBW A320. Super nice to fly. Well, good. I'm glad you enjoy it. So I can't say anything about the bigger ones, but the Cessna 152, 172, and CSTL fly real is close to the real thing. But I totally agree that the weather is not even close to the real sim. Yeah, when the winds don't affect the airplane, that sucks. In my opinion, is great flying experience, very close to real in certain circumstances. Purchased version, I don't know what you mean. Oh yeah, you need the purchased version of FSUIPC 7 for sure. Only thing I think 2020 could do better is the effects of flying over mountains. Yeah, well, when it's the same with the Baron, when you're sitting on the runway and you advance the engines with the parking brake on and you get this repetitive, stupid vibration that just keeps repeating and repeating and repeating. And whenever you're flying around and your stupid head is still moving around, I don't know, it's crap. It's got to be fixed. There's so many things they need to fix. Rex Weather makes the weather more realistic. Best purchase I ever made. So Dual, I have to disagree again, but that's okay. Unreal Weather Engine is free. I get more accurate ground weather than I do with Rex. But Rex and Unreal Weather both don't get the winds alofts correct. The winds alofts are garbage. All right, we're going down 3,300 feet for Thews. Guys, if you haven't made your predictions yet, now's the time to do it. Let's go our descent checklist. Pressurization has been set. Cabin altitude is set. Rate control has been set. The altimeter has been set. And that puts us into the cabin signs. We're not ready for them yet. Windshield anti-ice is already on. Brake de-ice. We'll put that on now, though. Window defog is on. Fuel balance is balanced. Cabin equipment has been positioned. Right now, the seats are almost ready to be up. We'll do that later. We have no lateral tracking seats. Tables are upright, and the monitors are put away. Looks pretty good to me. And we need to go ahead and put in the approach data and get our VREF. Flaps 40/120. And I need to go over to this runway 36. We've got ILS frequency of 109.9. And the approach course is going to be 357. That's in. I-Link will come up. And we're about 40 miles out, so we're going to switch frequencies. Guys, KingAir 8 Alpha Kilo, we're going to switch over to 118.5 for Lincoln CTEF. And we are 50 miles, I guess, so we still don't need to call yet. Thews at 3,300, Pots at 2,800. Speed's good. The heck was that noise? I've never heard that noise before. I actually don't know what that noise was. Did anybody else hear that on the stream? Bird strike. Well, that's damn near what it sounded like. Like, but doink.
I heard it.
I have no idea what that was. It wasn't the sound of a USB disconnecting. I have absolutely no idea what that was. That was very bizarre. There is nobody else in here. Oh, I wonder if I got disconnected from POSCON, maybe. KingAir 8 Alpha Kilo radio check.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, so it wasn't that. Huh.
No, I still see there.
It's what?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I still see on POSCON.
You do or still see me? Yes.
I do.
Okay. Did your phone just go off disavowed?
What?
Was that a what?
That was a what?
I said, did your cell phone just go off?
No?
Okay. So I really have no idea what that noise was. That was bizarre. All right, we're 30 miles now. South the airport.
I think that was the sound of your border closing for another 30 days.
Probably. That's okay. We got to keep you Americans out.
Oh, I thought it was the other way around.
No, definitely not the other way around.
Do you know how nice it is driving around here in Arizona without your snowbirds down here?
Yeah. I believe your COVID cases are higher than ours, though. We're not allowed to be driving around going anywhere right now.
We stopped counting above 2,000.
Fuck. That's crazy. Nebraska, Lincoln traffic, KingAir November 30 Alpha Kilo over 30 miles to the south, inbound to land, runway 36, full stop, Lincoln. All right. 3,300. Autopilot's off. Bring that speed back up. We don't need to be that low. Oh, Mr. Rouge B738. There is a gentleman I have not seen in a very, very long time. I was actually thinking about you today. Wondered where you've been. Glad to see you, buddy.
Traffic.
You don't know where the time's gone, neither do I, dude. I just don't know where you've been. I haven't talked to you in a while. Gonna start doing some ATC stuff soon there, Mr. Kyle. You'll have to come and fly. You can go right out of your home airport. Mr. Drone can go out of his home airport. You've been working on stuff around the house? Well, that's awesome, dude. 5-4 Delta Charlie, KingAir 8 Alpha Kilo.
Yeah, go ahead, Alpha.
Yeah, can I get a position report from you where you're at, please?
What was that?
Can I get a position report for your position?
Yeah, I'm 25 miles out of Booze.
All right, Master Chief Pilot, that would be you next. Do you want to go in and I'll just do a orbit to the left?
Roger. I'll take number 1.
KingAir 8 Alpha Kilo, we're going to make a left 360, left turn to 360 at 6,000 feet, KingAir 8 Alpha Kilo.
Clear. Accomplished.
Oh, watch that. Don't want to... not too bad. Oh, wrong button. It's not too bad, actually. I'm quite happy with it. It's not quite as high a resolution, obviously, as the monitors, but it's not bad. And 5-4 Delta Charlie, KingAir 8 Alpha Kilo, I have you in sight, and I'm going to squeeze between you and the other aircraft.
Roger, no problem. I can slow down a bit.
Yeah, bring your power back a little bit. I'm below 200 knots, and I'm now continuing my left turn right around to 360.
Right. I'm doing about 150 right at the moment.
I've got about 5 or 6 miles now separation between the other aircraft.
Traffic Everliner, November 8-5, Romeo Juliet is 12 miles, final ILS 36, Lincoln.
And 8-5 Romeo Juliet, KingAir 8 Alpha Kilo, got about 5 miles separation to you now, sir.
My Lincoln traffic, November 5-4 Delta Charlie is 17 miles out from Pose. 5 Romeo Juliet's going to be 180 knots until 5 knots.
5 Romeo Juliet, King Air 8 Alpha Kilo. We're slowing to final approach speed. 150 knots. Actually, we'll do 150 knots or less. King Air 8 Alpha Kilo. 2800 at Potts.
Sink rate.
Ooh, easy. Alright, landing lights are on. Auto feather, auto ignition is on. We got 5 miles on them now anyways, actually 7. $2,800 for Potts. And 5-4 Delta Charlie. I'm actually going to try and maintain 170 knots now because I've got over 7 miles to the traffic in front. Because I love this airplane, it's a beautiful airplane. I can fly up at 350 or I can fly at 2,000 feet. It makes no difference. I can fly up high with the tube liners nice and fast, or I can fly low and slow with the rest of the GA. It's a very versatile airplane. Alright, gears coming down. 1 notch flap. Alright. Before landing checklist, approach speeds are set. VREF, I've got 120 set. Bach landing VREF is, approach climb is going to be VREF plus 10, which should be 130 knots. I'm a little less than that, a little higher than that, sorry. Auto feather has been armed. Environmental bleed air is on low. Cabin lights are set. Cabin signs, they're going on. Flaps are at approach. Landing gear is down 3 green. Interior and exterior lights are on as required. And the landing checklist. Cabin signs are as required. Windshield anti-ice brake. De-ice is already on. Window defog is on. Cabin equipment has been positioned. That's all good. And I think we go to our normal landing checklist, which is right here. Flaps are down. Airspeed. VREF. Yaw damper is off. Ooh, good call on that one. That's why we have checklists. Prop levers are going to be full forward. Power levers will be at idle. And we're good to go. Lincoln traffic, King Air November 38 Alpha Kilo. We're on a 5-mile final, runway 36, full stop, Lincoln. There's the outer marker. VREF plus 10. Lincoln traffic, King Air November 38 Alpha Kilo. We're on a 2.5-mile final, runway 36, full stop, Lincoln.
Romeo Juliet vacated 36 on here.
Yeah. Go to realsimgear.com. Look at their GTN 750s. realsimgear.com. There's a 550 as well.
Nice rig.
What's that?
400.
Yeah, it's a nice rig. Drone's flying with a GTN 750.
$300. Approaching minimums. Minimums.
Continue. A little low.
100.
There's a middle marker.
Lincoln traffic for 54 Delta Charlie is 8 miles from Potts. Heading for 36.
50. 40. 30.
The winds
20.
are calm.
10.
Oh, that was hard. That was hard. A lot harder than she should have been. Whoa, what's this stupid guy doing on the runway? What, do you think we're in England or something?
That's your escort.
What the hell? That's actually not really expensive, SJ Fly. If you find that stuff expensive, you're in for a lot of shocks, buddy. The flight simulation industry is inherently expensive, but that stuff in particular is very affordable. All right, clean up the airplane. I want to get off here, but there's a bus. We're probably going to have to drive through them. Congratulations to Lanky95. Congratulations, well done. Oh, it is 100% SJ Fly. Okay, maybe I'm sorry, I apologize. I must have misunderstood. Nebraska traffic, sorry, Lincoln traffic, KingAir November 30 Alpha Kilo, we're clear active 36, Lincoln.
Lincoln traffic, November 54 Delta Charlie is on final 2 nautical miles from Potts for 36.
All right. All right, so what do we got going on here? Turn this off, this off, this off, this off, that off. That's good, that's good, that's good, that's good. Coffee pot's going off.
Lincoln traffic, November 54 Delta Charlie is on a 5-mile final for 36.
Yeah, to do a little cockpit would be absolutely fun. It would be super fun. Coffee pot's off, Solo, we got her. Thanks, man. I'm actually going to sit here and watch drone come in for a nice landing. We'll give you guys the front view. Unfortunately, we missed Master Chief's landing, but we'll come over and check it out. Exactly. The scenery is gorgeous. I mean, really, come on, let's be honest. Flight Sim 2020, the best thing about it is the amazing eye candy. Still needs a lot of work, but the eye candy's gorgeous. Yeah, Krusty, yeah, it was bad, man. It wasn't the greatest. I've done way better before. Master Chief, are you over by the A and G ramp? Yeah, the Tundra tires are pretty awesome, those really big ones. I don't know if Drone's gonna set her down that.
I know, I'm at the west ramp.
Apparently I went the wrong direction then.
Turrets are kind of nondescript. West ramp, east ramp. Doesn't really tell you much unless you know the place.
Yeah, I've never been here before. This is a new one for me. I just saw some GA airplanes sitting over here, so that's why I came this way. Binford 1200, thank you very much for the follow. Wow, Drone, that was beautiful landing. You got her stopped really quick. I think you might even make the first taxiway, damn it. All right.
Yeah, I'm getting off on S, on Sierra.
Sierra.
I could have done hotel, but you said you were going to the west side, right?
If I was going to the west, I'm gonna have to cross the runway back. I might just, yeah, I might just go ahead a little bit here and then I'll cross. Kind of missed it. Nobody's coming.
Traffic, November 54 Delta Charlie is clearly active on Sierra.
Shh, don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody. As long as we don't fall through the earth and crash the airplane, we'll be good. We got no Tundra tires on this bad boy. For like Avidyne, you mean? I don't know what a G3X Touch is. Is it more like Avidyne or something? I don't even know who makes that. G1000s they have, you can get those. They're proper with touch. Strobes are on. Yeah, glass cockpit screen. You want something more Avidyne that's all touchscreen. You don't want something like the G1000 that's got knobs. S-Master 7772, thank you very much for the follow. Where'd you go, Drone, right or left? Did you go right or left? Off Sierra 54 Delta Charlie, did you go right or left?
I went down Sierra and I did a right turn. You'll see it.
There, I got you now. Just popped in and saw your setup. Earned a follow, easy. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. It's a lot of fun to fly too. All right, let's turn left here. We appreciate the follows, the subscriptions, the support for the community. You guys are all awesome. Thank you very much for that. We're going to stream again, guys, on Saturday. So if you're not familiar, we will definitely be back around 0 Zulu on Saturday. If you got time, pop by. We will be packing up and leaving Lincoln, Nebraska, and heading somewhere else. Will be a little more exciting. All right. Here we go. Avionics are going off. No, Master Chief Pilot. I thank you, sir. Drone and I really appreciate having the extra company, and I appreciate you, Master Chief, and Drone for flying along with me. I love the little flights. You guys are absolutely awesome. Thank you so much. And sorry to bombard you with questions. Is there any good steam gauges you recommend? So there's only one company that makes, well, there's two companies that make them, but only one that I will recommend, and that's Flight Illusion. Company called Flight Illusion makes some amazing instruments. However, I prefer to make my own. I take the real ones and convert them over. All right, here we go. We're shutting down. Generator off. We got the taxi lights off. Prop sync is off. The TCAS is off. Strobe lights were off on the runway, and everything else is good. Engines, feather, seatbelt, master caution reset. Beacon light can go off. Master caution. Master caution. And nav lights and the battery all can go off. And that's pretty much going to do it for us. Guys, that was a lot of fun. I appreciate you guys hanging out with us. We're sitting on the ramp in Lincoln, Nebraska. We came from East Texas Regional Airport. Can't thank you guys enough for taking time out of your day and, you know, hanging out with us in a happy, amazing Wednesday. Hopefully you guys enjoyed yourself. And if you do catch us, no, the Flight Illusion products will interface with just Flight Sim directly and FSU-IPC. They definitely use FSU-IPC for their interfaceability, or whatever you want to call that. It's pretty cool, actually. You could pretty much use anything like that. It'll work with Flight Sim. Don't expect it to work with X-Plane, though, because that's probably not going to happen. Disavowed player, there is somebody in the stream, or in the live Twitch section, by the name of Digital Mike, all one word. Can you locate him, please? Actually, no. Yeah, let's do Digital Mike tonight. Yes, absolutely. If we can do that, guys. I miss this stream, but I won't miss the next. Well, no worries at all, my friend. Thank you very much. I'm going to send you to a very good friend of mine. Not I Destroy Fish Chicks tonight, but Spencer is my very good friend. I'm going to send you to somebody else who is just as funny. We're going to go over, and we're going to head over and see Mr. Digital Mike, otherwise known as Charlie Baker. Let's go over there, and hopefully you guys will see us on Saturday. Without further ado, you guys are all amazing. Thank you very much for all the support, and we'll see you guys on Saturday. Have a good evening, and let's give Mr. Charlie Baker a very warm welcome. You're definitely going to have a few laughs. We'll talk to you guys all later. Have a good night. KingAir 8 Alpha Kilo. See you later.